It's Whiteboard Wednesday with Muddy and Diane.
And today we're talking about the 3 must-have flip charts for every meeting.
Hi, Diane.
Hey, Muddy, how are you today?
Doing great. It's Whiteboard Wednesday.
I love Whiteboard Wednesday.
And this is big time. It feels like we've got a great rhythm, our 3rd episode. Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations to you too. And I'm really excited about today's episode and telling people the 3 must-have flip charts for every single meeting.
Yeah, this is a good topic and one that we both have lots of experience in the room in many, many meetings. And so we'll be able to kind of really share some real world experience. And we've all been in hundreds of meetings, but Diane, you know that situation when the boss tells you to put on a meeting, right?
Absolutely. They give you this criteria, like, I want it to be a really good meeting. I want you to hit all of these points. I want it to be fun, and I want it to stay on time because I've got other meetings to go to. And there are so many meetings happening around the world and inside of corporations that some companies are even having meetings about having too many meetings. And what that tells me is that they're having a hard time making meetings meaningful. And that's what we want to do, is give you some tools to help you as the facilitator, as the host of these meetings, to make them fun, effective, and get in there, get your work done, and get out and get on to the next thing.
Awesome. So this very first flip chart is one that I just call a welcome wall. All of these flip charts can be hand-drawn. In fact, we encourage that they're hand-drawn, but it doesn't have to be hard. These are super easy. So in fact, I've got one right over my shoulder right now as an example of this. But having this welcome poster immediately brings people into this kind of warm environment, right? And I almost always add this little phrase, "I'm glad you're here." Whether that's positioned outside the room to help people know they're in the right spot, or if it's going to be in the room, I usually position it so it is literally the very first thing that people see when they walk in the room.
Exactly, Mighty. And they can be done so quickly. You just put a little welcome on there, you add an icon, and maybe a tiny message. It's those 3 elements, very simple and easy. The next flip chart that I want to tell you about is making an agenda. So drawing out your agenda on a flip chart is really powerful for everyone in the room. The thing I want to emphasize as well is that we're asking you to use things that you already have in the room. We're not asking you to go out and buy anything else for your facilitated event. And so what are the things in the room is the flip chart, yourself, and some markers. So how can you unlock that flip chart and use it to keep you on track? So simply drawing out your agenda does a couple of things. It helps people know what's the flow of today. It helps them to know where are we in the flow. And you don't have to put the times on the agenda. You don't have to map out exactly where it is, because some parts of your agenda might expand and contract. Or people might start playing games with your agenda and thinking about when they're going to check out and when they're going to go get on their phone or when they're going to take that other call. And so the agenda just needs to give them a guidance of what is the flow that is happening today. And you can write that out very simply with a title at the top, a couple of little icons. And one of the things that I do in my Innovation ThinkPad training is I color in the icons of the agenda as we complete that item. So it gives another visual cue of where we are in the flow of the day. And so that's what I found is really powerful, because what also happens, Muddy, that you and I have seen, there are times where you have the luxury of a co-facilitator.
But you don't always have that. And that's when these flip charts really come in. You like to use this term as your co-facilitator.
Exactly. And so the agenda becomes your co-facilitator that you can go and you can refer to, and to keep you on track and help make your meeting extremely successful.
One of the things I often do is especially as we're moving from one topic to another, just kind of bring the attention back to the agenda that's written and say, here's where we are, we've completed this, and we're moving on to this. Besides helping people stay on track, The other thing it does is it helps create momentum and this kind of feeling of completion, right? You can see that we're moving through the agenda. It feels like we're accomplishing something. And as amazing as it is, that sense of accomplishment actually leads the team to a more productive meeting. And so it's another way that that agenda can really help. Now, we often talk about having a visual agenda, so adding an icon or something like that.
Absolutely. You could just use a single icon like a light bulb and have that just be the icon for each of the elements of your agenda. You can use that throughout all of your flip charts. And the one thing that I love is the examples that you're showing, Muddy, are so very simple and easy and approachable. And that's the whole purpose, is that they can be really simple flip charts, but they have a powerful impact on the results. And like you said, having that sense of accomplishment. How many times have you left a meeting and thought, what did we get done? Was that meeting worth my time? And how many times have you looked at your calendar and you've kind of vetted which meeting should I go to? Because some people are double and triple booked inside of meetings. And if you become known as someone who facilitates really good meetings, and you know it's going to be worth your time, then it's important for you to establish that brand that you and I talk about, that brand of a rising leader, of an innovation champion, that they know that your meetings are going to be really successful, easy, and fun. And I want to make sure and go to those because I'm going to get stuff done.
Awesome. All right. So this third flip chart that I want to talk to you about, that we want to share, is one that I just call a purpose statement. So here's what this is. This is really just one short, concise statement. And this can be the purpose of the meeting. This can be the purpose of the project, or maybe even that bigger purpose that you're working towards. But it's something that aligns everyone, that you know where you're all working toward. You want the statement clear enough that people know what it means, but also a statement that everyone can get on board with. Right at the beginning of the meeting, you have that purpose statement up and you can point to it and say, hey, here's why we're here. And it also just kind of keeps people centered around that. So it doesn't have to be complicated, doesn't have to be fancy, really just a nice, clear purpose statement can go a long way into helping your meeting stay focused and productive.
Yeah, which leads to the bonus that I want to add of the 3 must-have flip charts, because what happens is if a topic comes up in the room and it seems like it's off the table for this meeting because you use that purpose to help you stay on track. If something comes up, what I love to also include, my 4th bonus must-have flip chart for you, are you ready? Is the parking lot. And this one's so fun. All you have to do is like draw a little car if you want some parking spaces, and then a little title that says parking lot. And you can just say, okay, in the parking lot, we're going to just place this idea to discuss later. And there is something so powerful about making something as simple as this parking lot to help people be able to get that thought out of their head, shared with everyone so that they are heard, they are seen, their idea is valued, and we just save that for the next meeting or another time. And so we want to give you the tools to help you capture all of that group genius that is happening in your meetings so that you have it for later to harvest. And so that's what the parking lot is it's a way to capture those really great ideas, but we can't, it's not on topic for now because we want to stay with the agenda that's designed. So that's my 4th bonus flip chart for must-haves for any meeting.
And the last thing I want to leave you with is a quick word of encouragement, because these 3 posters that we shared, the welcome poster, the agenda poster, the purpose statement, these are all things that you can create ahead of time, that you should create ahead of time, and they don't take long. Only a couple of minutes invested before the meeting. You can post these up. They help you put on a great meeting. And for the participants, it is such a breath of fresh air to come in and have a meeting that's on topic, that's focused, that where creativity is really encouraged. And so really just taking a couple of minutes before the meeting can help you really put on a fantastic, productive, shorter meeting.
Have a great meeting. Bye, guys.